Before today's video, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest videos. If you want to see a case or topic covered by Paranormally Listed, then go to criminallylisted.com and fill out the questionnaire under the Suggest a Case tab. Number 3. The Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. Tucked among the rugged peaks of Alberta's Rocky Mountain lies the majestic Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, often called the Castle in the Rockies. Though it exudes old-world elegance and grandeur, the halls of this iconic hotel carry more than history. They carry the whispers of ghosts. Constructed in 1888 by the Canadian Pacific Railway, the hotel was part of a grand vision to promote luxury tourism in the Canadian wilderness. Designed in the Scottish Barronelle style by architect Bruce Price, the Banff Springs Hotel was meant to reflect European elegance while capitalizing on Canada's rugged natural beauty. Positioned along the newly built Transcontinental Railway, it quickly became a retreat for the wealthy elite seeking both adventure and comfort. The original wooden structure tragically burned down in 1926. However, it was quickly rebuilt using local limestone, and the new design, created by architect Walter S. Painter, featured a more fire-resistant construction and even grander detail. Since then, the hotel has undergone several renovations and expansions, maintaining its charm while evolving into a modern luxury resort. The hotel has long served as a symbol of Canadian identity and heritage. It was declared a National Historic Site in 1988, exactly 100 years after it opened. Over the decades, it has hosted royalty, celebrities, and dignitaries from around the world. King George VI and Queen Elizabeth stayed during their 1939 Canadian tour. Stars like Marilyn Monroe and Fred Astaire visited while filming nearby. Yet, beyond its grandeur and rich history, the Banff Springs Hotel has garnered a reputation for the supernatural. Perhaps the most infamous legend tied to the Banff Springs surrounds Room 873. According to hotel lore, a family, a mother, father, and young daughter, checked into the room sometime in the mid-1900s. By morning, they were all dead under mysterious and gruesome circumstances. Some say the father murdered his family before turning the blade on himself. Others whisper it was something more sinister, something unexplainable. After reports of guests being awoken by blood-curdling screams, flickering lights, and ghostly handprints appearing on mirrors, the hotel permanently sealed the room. Today, if you walk the hallway where room 873 should be, you only find a stretch of seamless wall. But some claim they still hear knocking from behind it. Another enduring tale is that of the Ghost Bride. Legend holds that in the 1920s, a young woman descended the hotel's grand marble staircase in her wedding gown. As she made her way down, something startled the horse of the carriage she was to ride in. In her panic, the bride stumbled and fell, tumbling down the staircase to her death. Guests and staff alike have reported seeing a spectral woman in a flowing white gown gliding along the staircase, her veil billowing behind her as though caught in a ghostly breeze. Others have heard the faint strains of wedding music playing from an empty ballroom. One of the hotel's more benevolent spirits is Sam McCauley, a Scottish bellman who worked in the hotel during the 1960s and 70s. Known for his strict professionalism and dedication, Sam vowed to return to the hotel as a spirit to keep helping guests. True to his word, guests have reported being helped by a bellman matching Sam's description, only to find that no staff member matching that description was on duty. Others have seen him vanish before their eyes or discovered their luggage mysteriously brought to their rooms without explanation. Beyond these headline hauntings, many visitors report strange occurrences throughout the hotel. Cold spots without any drafts, phantom footsteps echoing in the empty hallways, and disembodied whispers that make the hairs on the back of one's neck stand up. Even seasoned staff members avoid certain parts of the hotel after dark. Despite, or perhaps because of these eerie tales, the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel remains one of Canada's most beloved destinations. Ghost tours are often organized, and paranormal investigators flock to the hotel, hoping to catch a glimpse of the afterlife. Some say that the Rockies themselves hold the spirits of the past close, and the Banff Springs Hotel, standing proud in their midst, is their grand and haunted guardian. Number 2. The Omni Parker Hotel. In the heart of Boston, Massachusetts, where cobblestone streets meet the echoes of American revolutionaries, stands the Omni Parker House Hotel. America's longest continuously operating hotel and one of its most haunted. The Omni Parker House opened in 1855 under the direction of Harvey D. Parker, a humble coachman turned entrepreneur. With a vision to create a refined establishment that merged luxury with innovation, Parker built what was at the time Boston's most modern hotel. Featuring running water on every floor and an elevator known as a vertical railroad, the hotel was seen as a marvel of engineering and elegance. From the start, the Parker House became a gathering place for some of the 19th century's greatest minds. It was home to the Saturday Club, a group that included literary giants such as Ralph Waldo Emerson, Nathaniel Hawthorne, and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The hotel hosted figures such as Charles Dickens, who gave his first American reading of A Christmas Carol there. Its location near the Massachusetts State House and Boston Common placed it at the epicenter of Bostonian life, drawing intellectuals, politicians, and celebrities. Yet, as much of the hotel is a landmark of culture and hospitality, it also hides a darker, spectral reputation. The hotel's European-style ambience, mahogany furnishings, and attention to service set a new standard in American hospitality. The hotel was also the birthplace of culinary staples. It introduced Parker house rolls to the world and claims to have invented the Boston cream pie, now the official dessert of Massachusetts. Its restaurant, Parker's, is one of the oldest in Boston and once employed a young Ho Chi Minh as pastry chef and Malcolm X as a busboy. John F. Kennedy, who proposed to Jacqueline Bouvier in the restaurant, held his bachelor party there. Over the years, the Parker House underwent numerous expansions and renovations, including a complete rebuilding in the 1920s to match the city's evolving skyline. Despite these changes, it's retained its character and charm, blending modern amenities with historical architecture. With nearly 2 centuries of guests, some have never truly checked out. One of the most notorious areas of the hotel is the 10th floor. Guests have reported sudden drops in temperature, shadowy figures at the ends of hallways, and the distinct sensation of being watched. One longtime guest reported waking up to find a man in period clothing standing at the foot of his bed, only for the figure to vanish into thin air. Housekeepers claimed that carts mysteriously roll down empty corridors, lights flicker without cause, and footsteps echo where no one walks. Some believe that these disturbances come from spirits of past guests who met untimely deaths during their stays. On the 3rd floor, actress Charlotte Cushman died in 1876 of pneumonia. Though room 303 was eventually converted into storage due to the number of guest complaints, its stories continue to unsettle. According to legend, a liquor businessman took his own life in that room in 1949. He mixed whiskey with poison. And ever since, guests have reported hearing unsettling laughter late at night. They also smell whiskey and cigar smoke even after the room has been cleaned. Staff were frequently called to the room by terrified guests, claiming they heard knocking and moaning or even saw mist forming in the air. After repeated incidents, management quietly retired the room for public use. Room 303 has gone on to inspire the short story 1408 by Stephen King. The founder himself, Harvey D. Parker, is said to still roam his beloved hotel. Guests have reportedly seen him on the 9th and 10th floors, peering into rooms or gliding silently past doorways. A few brave guests claim he appeared at the foot of their beds, as if inspecting the hotel standards from beyond the grave. Others have felt a presence near the elevators. Doors opening and closing on their own, or lingering cold spots where no draft should be. One particularly chilling tale involves an antique mirror that once hung near the elevators on the mezzanine. Some have reported seeing ghostly images in the mirror that weren't their own. They were dressed in old-fashioned clothing, staring back with empty eyes. The mirror has since moved, though rumors say its disturbing reflections continue wherever it goes. The Omni Parker Hotel continues to attract guests from around the world. Its Victorian-era charm and historic atmosphere draw in travelers, whilst ghostly stories are whispered by candlelight on walking tours. For many, a night at the Omni is more than just a stay, it's an experience. The hotel stands as a testament to time, a place where the past lingers in both spirit and story, and where the line between the living and the dead grows just a little thinner after midnight. Number 1. Hollywood Roosevelt. Nestled on the iconic Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel is a landmark of Tinseltown's golden age. Since opening its doors in 1927, the hotel has hosted Hollywood's elite, from Clark Gable and Carole Lombard to Marilyn Monroe and Charlie Chaplin. But the glitz and glamour of the Roosevelt's storied past hides a much darker truth. The hotel is considered one of the most haunted locations in California. Built in the Spanish colonial revival style for $2.5 million, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel was financed by industry legends like Louis B. Mayer, Mary Pickford, and Douglas Fairbanks. With its towering 12 stories and 300 rooms, the hotel was designed by architecture firm Fisher Lake and Traver. It quickly became a beacon of luxury and sophistication in the heart of the film industry. The hotel's grand opening on May 15, 1927, was a star-studded event attended by some of the biggest names in early cinema. Just 2 years later, in 1929, the hotel's Blossom Ballroom hosted the very first Academy Awards ceremony, a modest 15-minute affair with fewer than 300 guests. Throughout the 1930s and 40s, the Roosevelt served as a second home for some of Hollywood's most iconic stars. Clark Gable and Carole Lombard famously stayed in the penthouse suite, and the hotel's poolside cabanas became a popular hideaway for luminaries like Shirley Temple and Errol Flynn. The Tropicana pool, featuring a mural painted by David Hockney in the 1980s, has since become iconic in its own right. After falling into decline in the post-war years, the hotel underwent major restorations in the 1980s and again in the early 2000s, helping to revive its former glory while preserving its historic charm. The Roosevelt is now a Los Angeles historical cultural monument, blending old Hollywood opulence with modern luxury. With its grand chandeliers, vintage architecture, and 12 stories of Hollywood history, the Roosevelt quickly became the playground of silver screen's brightest stars. But as fame faded for many of those stars, some say their spirits remained behind, lingering in the halls where they once shined. Perhaps the most famous ghost said to haunt the Roosevelt is none other than Marilyn Monroe. During her rise to fame, she lived in the hotel for 2 years and often stayed in the cabana suite. Guests and staff have claimed to have seen her reflection in a full-length mirror that once hung in the suite and is now displayed near the hotel lobby. Sightings of a blonde apparition, sometimes smiling, sometimes solemn, have been reported near the mirror and around the suite. Lights flicker and cold spots materialize with no source, as if Monroe herself still lingers among the glamour she helped to find. Another lingering spirit is believed to be Montgomery Clift. Clift stayed in the Roosevelt while preparing for his role in the film From Here to Eternity. Clift resided in room 928, where he was known to pace the room while memorizing lines and playing his trumpet. Guests and staff have reported hearing trumpet music emanating from the empty room. Others claim to have seen Clift's ghost pacing the hallways, lost in thought. The phone in room 928 is also said to ring unexpectedly, always from within the room. Apparitions of children have also been spotted in the hotel's hallways and stairways. One little girl, described in vintage-era clothing, is often seen skipping or peering curiously around corners. When approached, she vanishes into thin air. Staff have grown accustomed to hearing playful laughter when no children are checked in, or to the sounds of small feet running in empty corridors late at night. The Blossom Ballroom, where the first Oscars were awarded, has its own share of paranormal activity. Lights turn on and off by themselves, cool breezes sweep the room, even when windows are shut, and spectral figures occasionally appear on security cameras, though never seen by the naked eye. Some staff believe that the spirits of forgotten performers return to this grand stage, reliving the night when their dreams were made and broken. The Hollywood Roosevelt remains a favorite for tourists, actors, and ghost hunters alike. Its combination of vintage charm and spectral intrigue draws thousands through its door each year. In the soft glow of vintage chandeliers and the quiet echo of the past, some guests swear the hotel's famous residents never truly left. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, we'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. Also, don't forget to watch our shorts on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Once again, thank you for watching.